Okay guys, I'm going to give you a little tutorial on how to do the RCBS primer pocket swager. It took me about, I don't know, more primers than I'd like to admit to figure out what I was doing wrong. I was constantly ruining primer after primer, trying to get these in. None of them would seat correctly. Maybe every other one would go in right, and it just didn't seem to be working. So what I found was a lot of videos online on YouTube would say things like, set the pocket swager exactly at this point, lock it down, don't move it. That didn't seem to work for me, so I leave mine a little loose. I run it down to where the two hit. My lever here is at the bottom, and this is just hitting. So that's where mine is, and I find that not every shell casing is exactly the same. So what I do is, I'm going to try to do this one-handed. I run it up by hand like that, and then I'm going to pull the lever. Again, this is one-handed. So make sure it's seated in there. Then you're going to want to get down to this point, and you really want to find that spot where if it cambers too much, then you want to back it off up here a little bit, where you can't. But if it cambers too little, here I'll show you this. See, that's not enough. And when you lock it down like that, you're going to get some casings that they'll do this, and some they'll stop right about here, and that's about where you want it. And then you really have to crank them down. But for the ones that just do this, where you can just easily do it, 2 fingers, real light and easy, that's not enough. So I'm constantly moving this, and by moving it, I'm saying like that. Some move a whole eighth of a turn, some just tweak it. But like I said, I did this entire bag twice now. The first time through, I had it locked down, didn't move it because I was trying to get a constant adjustment and or a constant primer pocket that was the same in all of them. And it, like I said, didn't really work well for any of my primers. So really wasn't consistent. You got to kind of work just off of each casing, and then it's going to be impossible to do it. But when you're done, you're going to want to really throw this handle back. What I do is I use my left hand, I throw it back real hard while holding on to it, and pops right out, and you're done. But you really want to get this to the point where it's right about here. And that's where you want to really crank. I can't do it with 2 hands to show you, but you really want to hammer it down to get that primer pocket opened up real good and remove that crimp. So, and then I'll show you exactly what I mean now that I've done this one, how easy the primer goes in. All right, here we go. I got my small rifle primers, number 400 CCI, and I got it loaded up into my RCBS hand loader, and we're gonna just press. Of course, it doesn't work for the video. We're just gonna press down, give a little push. You can feel it. Doesn't even make a click, or it just slides right in. And then kind of hard to focus, but there it is. Like I said, after I don't know how many that is, over 100 shells, every single one went in perfectly smooth. I only had this one instance, and I think that was more just the alignment of the shell in the thing, and that was more my fault. But the rest of them went in perfectly. So There you go. Hope this helps.